Hey there. What's up, European nations? I am Theodor Herzl, the guy who kicked off the whole Zionist movement. Who's this dude? I think he's Jewish. Ew, why are we even chatting with a Jew? Alright, enough. Jews are people too. You can't treat us like garbage. What? People? Stop. Just hear me out. I've got this massive idea. So Europe, you're looking to get rid of us. And us Jews are sick of being oppressed for centuries. So how about helping us to set up a Jewish state where all of us can come together in one place? Sounds good, right? That actually sounds pretty cool. But Herzl, you're forgetting one thing. It's Herzl. Yeah, whatever. You're not just one group. You're all over the place. There are German Jews, British Jews, American Jews. Heck, there are even Ethiopian Jews. How's that gonna work? Forget about the Ethiopian Jews. They'd be second-class citizens in our state. And hey, it doesn't matter if we're from different backgrounds. We'll bring Hebrew back to life and make it our official language. And within a few generations, everyone will be speaking Hebrew as his native language. Voila. Okay, but there's one problem. The whole planet's already occupied. Where are you gonna put this land? In the South Pole? Are you kidding me, England? Since when did the British Empire care about human lives? Come on, you guys have colonies everywhere. Fair point. Got any ideas? Sure thing. We've thought about Madagascar, Argentina, Palestine. Hold on. Let's keep Palestine as an option for now. Why? Because today we're talking about what if Israel doesn't exist. Israel, one of the strongest economies in the Middle East, maybe even the whole world. And let's not forget about its military. It's top-notch, at least based on statistics. But what if Israel had not established its own state in what was known as Palestine before 1948? Would it have prevented the loss of tens of thousands of lives on the Palestinian side caused by the IDF, as well as the thousands of deaths on the Israeli side during the years of this ongoing conflict? Well, before answering this question, we should go through a general summary of the story of Israel. This guy is Theodor Herzl, an Austro-Hungarian Jewish lawyer and political activist. One day, while he was chilling in his house, a strange idea popped into his head. Hey, Mom! Mom! Oh, son, how many times do I have to say it? No yelling in this house. I can hear you just fine. Mom, please, we don't have time for this right now. I just had a great idea. Well, look who's using their brain. What's this great idea? Remember when you said you were tired of our neighbors bothering us and leaving their trash by our door? Yeah, so? Well, why don't we move to the next neighborhood where we can have some peace and quiet? Are you serious, Theo? There's not a single empty house in that neighborhood. Who cares? Let's just pick a house we like and kick them out. The police will be on our side. With this reasoning, Herzl concluded that he should be the one to alleviate his people's suffering, which had been directed towards them for centuries. They had been isolated or prevented from integrating into the societies they were part of. So whenever a crisis arose, blame the Jews. Inflation increased? It's definitely the Jews. Poverty? Oh, again, it's the Jews. But in reality, Herzl's idea of relief was quite different. Instead of seeking solutions to his people's problems without harming anyone, he and others who followed his path after his death in 1906 rather strangely moved in a course of actions which apparently meant that the end of Jews' suffering should mark the beginning of the suffering of a completely different and faraway nation. Specifically, we're talking about Palestine. And what was their justification? Hey, check it out. This is our future homeland. Dude, I'm from Germany. I've already got a homeland. So what? I'm from England too, but we still can have a new one. What's this area? I've never seen it before. It's Palestine. It's where our ancestors used to live thousands of years ago. That's what the Torah says. Thousands of years ago? Dude, I threw my mom's memorial ring into the garbage and I can still not find it. And it's been only 2 months. Besides, my ancestors came from the state of Khazar in southern Russia. That's what my grandma says. So what? We can go there and build a new country out of scratch. But Palestine is already inhabited and well constructed. It even has seaports and foreign embassies. I used to live there for work and I once had a really fun trip on a train. So what? At the end of the 19th century and the beginning of the 20th, immigration was being funded by Zionists. Until this point, everything was legal. The immigrants were legitimately passing through the borders of Palestine, and some lands were actually being sold to Jews. But all that wasn't going to be enough. Why? Well, because despite all these attempts, the percentage of Jews in Palestine rose only from 2%, consisting of Orthodox Jews, up to 4%, adding to it the new European Jewish comers. And another reason is that no money can cover up to buy a whole country. And even if Jews had that money, the Ottomans, i.e. the Muslim rulers of that territory at the time, weren't going to give up Palestine in any possible way. Wait, possible way? Then what's the impossible way? I think you all guessed it. It's the coming of a super powerful savior. I can't believe this. We still are far from achieving our goal of a new homeland in Palestine. What are we gonna do? Be homeless? Excuse me, young man, but your sighs are heard at distance. May I ask what's the matter? You surely can, sir. It's a long story, but I can give you a brief. It's just that there's a populated country called Palestine and we want to make it our homeland. But we can't do this, nor can we settle there. Oh, that's really such a sad story. I get quite sentimental at these situations. But I think I've got the solution. Oh, really, sir? What's that? From now on, I declare that I will make Palestine your homeland. But how? I am the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. After the World War I, we who win are going to share the territories of the Ottomans like a piece of cake. And once Palestine is under my mandation, I'll make sure you outnumber the Palestinians there. Easy peasy. And so it was. After the British mandation, the rate of illegal immigration to Palestine went viral. It got so extreme to the extent that the percentage of Jewish population jumped from 4% up to 30%. Yes, you heard right, 30%. At this point, the Jewish immigrants started to create militant groups to terrorize both the Palestinians and the British. Again, yes, you heard right. The Jews turned the table on their sugar daddy. The Palestinians tried to resist many times, but they were so weak to beat 2 striking forces at a time. Now you can imagine the kind of genocides and terror Israel applied on the Palestinians before and after the establishment of its state. Is there a big crowd in the market today? Mohammed? Is there a Palestinian village that still lives in peace? Go invade it and kill its people. Oh, look, it's a cute Palestinian baby over there. Bombard him. Oh, an innocent civilian. Arrest him. Dude, we're a bunch of murderers. Now that we've wrapped up the history of Israel, let's circle back to the main focus of this video. What if Israel wasn't around? I reckon after seeing the rundown, you've got a pretty good idea. Yeah, tens of thousands of Palestinians wouldn't have lost their lives, obviously. We wouldn't be hearing about massacres and kids crying because they lost their folks in bombings, or the horrific method Israel's been applying recently, which is genocide. Instead, we'd see a country called Palestine standing alongside its Arab neighbors, created by its own people, not by kicking others out of their homeland. Now, there's a big question here. What about the Jews who migrated from Europe with the British help to settle in a land already populated? Well, historically, various Jewish communities lived in Muslim-ruled lands, and guess what? There's no mention in the history books of them being oppressed or persecuted. Sure, they faced challenges like any minority in a society dominated by another group, but compare that to Jews in Europe, treated like second-class citizens. So those immigrants in Palestine would be no exception. As long as you harm no one, you will definitely get good treatment. Now I'll leave you with this clip. Watch it, and it'll all make sense.
The mass slaughter in Gaza has nothing to do with a conflict between religions, between Judaism and Islam. We have been living together as Jews and Muslims for literally hundreds of years. Thousands of years we've been living together with Arab people. You can see how we live together. It's only an introduction of a political movement called Zionism, and that's using the name of Judaism to declare war on the people of Palestine, to declare and vilify the people of Palestine that they're anti-Semites, anti-Jews. That's totally repugnant and false. We cannot be silent. We're Jews. Because we're Jews, we have to stand up and say, this is not true. It's not in our name. We totally object to this. We cry and hurt with the people of Gaza and Palestine. This is not a religious state. It's not a Jewish state. They're using the name Israel. They're masquerading in the Star of David in the name Israel. This is a criminal entity.